All right, good morning, everyone. This is day 6. Did not have a video for day 5. Yesterday was just a 0 day in Waynesboro. I don't intend to film on my 0 days. I was just doing things like, editing videos and resupplying and that kind of thing. But back at mile 1067 in Penmar Park, had a really great time in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Highly recommend that town. Everybody was super nice. So I just got dropped off back here at Penmar Park by Smooth, who's a trail angel. So Smooth was a 2022 northbound hiker, so he lives in the area. And so he said, I tried to give him money for ferrying me back and forth, and he said, no, so many people helped him. He's just doing this to try to pay it forward. So, but everybody was super nice, from, the woman working the check-in desk at the hotel, the lady at Applebee's, the waitress, was talking about how she and her son go up and take Gatorade to hikers and leave trail magic, by the trail. So super cool town, feeling pretty good. So let's get started. Day 6. All right, everybody, get excited. We have reached my first major milestone. So Maryland-Pennsylvania border, Mason-Dixon line. I believe you're testing my knowledge here of American history, but I believe the Mason-Dixon line was just a survey line, but it became important as part of the Missouri Compromise. But more importantly for me, it marks the first state that I've completed, which is Maryland. So yes, I started in West Virginia, but I did not start at the West Virginia border. I started in the middle of West Virginia, so I have not actually completed the state of West Virginia. But this is super exciting. First state down. Let's keep going. So as I mentioned, I did not start at the West Virginia border. I thought about doing that, right? So I thought about actually walking south from Harper's Ferry to start at the West Virginia border. That would have helped my sense of order and neatness. I have a non-trivial number of obsessive compulsive personality traits, and I think that's one of them. But if I would have done that, then when I returned to Harper's Ferry, I would have had to, duplicate those miles. And so, frankly, the obsessive compulsive personality traits lost out to my inherent sense of laziness and not wanting to duplicate miles. But I do think this sort of trail will be an exercise in exposure therapy, right? I do have, I have a preference for control and order and neatness, and part of that's perhaps why I'm an accounting professor, right? Accounting is symmetric and everything balances. Let a car go by here as I cross the road. But this trail you cannot control, right? And things are not necessarily orderly, and you can't be a perfectionist out here. So in some sense, either maybe this trail will allow me to let go of some of those personality traits, or maybe this trail will drive me crazy and I'll quit. Again, I don't really know, but we'll see. But hiking this morning, pretty beautiful day. Going to be a little warm, highs in the low 80s, but it's perfect hiking weather right now. So we'll see you up the trail. All right, everybody, climbing up to Pennsylvania Route 16. I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break before we're too far in Pennsylvania. Talk about trivia. So I have a user or a follower sharing my fun. I believe is second only in the number of comments to my parents. So I appreciate you sharing my fun. Sharing my fun talked about trivia on Maryland. I know Pennsylvania is the Keystone State. I don't really know what the origin for that is. Maybe a construction reference, like the keystone of a building or something. I do know it's about, 230 or so miles and long. So I believe that's third. Virginia is the longest state. Then I think it's Maine, and Pennsylvania, I believe, is third. So I'm going to be here for a couple weeks. So if you want, put some fun trivia in the comments about Pennsylvania. We can educate ourselves. And speaking of education, shout out to Miss Cregan's 3rd grade class in Nederland, Texas. I got a message that you all are following along with all my videos, so I heard you were the best 3rd grade class ever. I know you have a very special teacher, so I appreciate you guys following along. And speaking of other people following along, I saw the note from Lockreds. So I believe you were the gentleman that I met in Maryland. I apologize. I would have got my picture with you. I just wasn't thinking clearly at the time, but I definitely appreciate you following along and hope you had a good hike. So, okay, onward, continuing up to PA 16. All right, everybody, we've reached PA 16. We're by a road, so it's a little bit noisy. But we'll look at the map here. So we started today down here, Penmar Park, hiked up to here. We're now here again at PA 16. What we're shooting for, and I know the shadow is kind of annoying, we're shooting, first goal today is Tumbling Run Shelters. That's going to be at 8.5 miles. That's our first option. And then second option is coming up. And where is the Rocky Run Shelter? Rocky Mountain Shelter. There would be the second option. That's like 15.2. Now I can camp in between. That is legal. However, there are no water sources in between, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to dry camp. I'd have to carry in a lot of water, and that's heavy. So we'll see. I'll get to that 8.5 mile spot, and we'll do an update. All right, give you a feel for the trail here in Pennsylvania. Still pretty rocky, but pretty flat after PA 16. Let you listen to the birds and see the sunshine through the trees. All right, everyone, just leaving Deer Lick Shelters. Just had a quick snack break. Did have one bar of service, so I checked, put off airplane mode, and a text message from a colleague, one of the other professors I work with, just said that the graffiti in the 4th floor bathroom was gone as of this morning. So we do not know if that was a coincidence or perhaps that my videos are having some unintended benefit. So anyway, he said he'd like to think that my videos are making a difference, and I'd like to think the same. So walking through 16 trillion cobwebs this morning, which probably means I'm the first one on the trail. I have not seen a single soul since Smooth dropped me off at Penmar Park. But the trail is a really nice walking right now, making good time. We'll catch up with you down the trail. All right, everybody, reached Tumbling Run Shelters. This place is amazing. Covered patio with picnic table. And shelters, they've got dual shelters, both non-snoring and snoring. Bear cables, privy down there, tent sites, great water source. This is one of the best shelters that I've seen. I'm not staying in the shelter though. Here is the Z-Pax duplex setup, and thankfully I am under the garden, I don't know if you can see this, of this lovely forest creature here. So I'll get in the tent and do a quick wrap-up video. All right, everybody, we'll do a quick wrap-up video on day 6. Started at 1067, that was off the page. Had that pretty good climb, and then descent to PA 16, and then the next several miles were the best miles that we've had on trail. Ended up here at 1075.6, that's Tumbling Run Shelters. That's only 8.6 for the day, but the issue is water. Okay, so the shuttle driver told me that Rocky Mountain Shelters water is not reliable. It's also a full 0.5 mile off trail. Met the caretaker here at Tumbling Run. He said basically the same thing. You do not want to rely on this water, which basically means the next reliable water source is 10 miles away. So I did not want to. I was sort of staring at, a 1,000-foot climb over a mile combined with a 10-mile water carry on a very hot, it was almost 85 degrees today at 2 p.m. That didn't sound good. So we're gonna, hole up here at Tumbling Run and sort of tackle that, load up on water in the morning and tackle that climb when it's cooler. So I'll turn the camera around and give you some final thoughts. So dinner's cooked, food is hung. All I really need to do is sort of wipe down a little bit, change into my camp clothes. Again, shorter than I would have liked today, but that was just the circumstances. So a big issue facing us is thunderstorms starting in about 48 hours. So I've been trying to come up with a plan to either be, maybe at a hostel or at a very minimum in a shelter, right? I don't want to be in my tent simply because it's just a mess to sort of set up a tent in a thunderstorm and tear down a tent and eat and all that stuff. So formulating a plan, it's going to involve probably 2 big days in a row to get to one of those situations with some big water carries. But again, hopefully this was a relatively short day. I can be rested and recovered and ready for that. So I don't know if these kind of logistical details are interesting to you, but this is definitely the things that are on my mind at sort of the end of each day as you sort of try to plan for the next day. So, and again, anyway, thanks again for all your support. I will see you tomorrow.
If you enjoyed this video, I would ask two things. First, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those actions help us grow the community so that we can put more good out into the world. Second, when I'm not out on an adventure, I am a college professor. A college education can be transformative, but college is an expensive proposition. However, I think we can help, so I'm asking you to please donate to support scholarships for students at the Sam M. Walton College of Business at the University of Arkansas. There are two ways you can navigate to the donation page. First, you can scan the QR code that you see on the screen. Please have cookies enabled in your browser. The second method is to navigate to the URL that you see on the screen or in the description to this video. When you arrive at that page, what should you see? Well, you will be on the online giving website for the University of Arkansas. You should notice that the designation and the other department, program, or fund fields are automatically populated. That's going to tell the fundraising personnel to automatically associate any funds raised with our effort here on this channel. All you have to do is enter an amount and your personal information. I will keep you up to date with our fundraising progress as we move through the adventure. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you on the next video.